I'm on Klopfanstein at Fort St. Augustine, Rome, where people have begun to gather for the Ice Out for Good protest. This is part of a protest that's taking place around the country. With Dave, and Dave, your sign says ice, slippery, and dangerous.
Yeah.
With Dave, and Dave, your sign says ice, slippery, and dangerous.
Yes.
One of the things that we've seen this past week is just how dangerous they are. They murdered a woman simply for not complying with their orders. What do you make of this? This like kind of a new it's kind of a new step that government agents are killing people. It is dangerous.
It's absolutely horrible. I have never seen anything like this in my life, where we have some form of authoritative agency that wears masks, has no identification,
right,
and seems to have no accountability whatsoever. And this appears to me and a lot of people that they're given free rein from the federal government to do whatever the hell they please.
People are disappearing.
We were sold a can of goods from the government when this all started, saying they're there to remove rapists, terrorists, murderers, lawbreakers, all this stuff, these bad people. It's quite obvious. I see what I see. You see what you see. This is not the case. They're terrorizing people.
Yeah.
They're going into neighborhoods. They're creating chaos and terror. That's what they're doing. They're not doing what they said they were going to do, which was to get rid of all the bad criminals. They're bringing terror into our neighborhoods.
What did you see on the video?
I saw a woman killed in cold blood, and the guy looked like, to me, he enjoyed what he was doing. That's what I saw. And I also heard him say, "Fuck you, bitch," when he was done doing what he did.
Right.
So
what does that tell? What does
that
tell
tells
you?
me that ICE is made up of nothing but a bunch of paid mercenaries who have no accountability whatsoever.
So what do we do about that?
We do what we're doing now. We have our rights to stand and protest and voice our opinion. They can't stop me from doing this. I am peacefully protesting and letting everyone know what I think of what's going on in this world. It disgusts me. And I'm also disgusted with the American voter that brought this guy into power again after what they saw on January 6th of 2021. It is disgusting. I am disgusted with the American voter. They're getting what they deserve right now.
Why do you think they voted him back in after January 6th, after everything?
I think, honestly, a lot of what people did to vote this guy in are because they think it's okay to be racist, and a lot of them are just looking for white supremacy to come back to this country.
So what do we do about that?
We voice our opinion.
Yeah.
We gotta spread the word. We gotta help people open their eyes to what's going on. This is a country of immigrants. Okay, diversity is our power. We've done so well in this country because of our rich diversity of people from all over the world. That's America.
Yeah.
We've got to break this mindset that America can only be successful with whites in power.
Right.
That's not who we are. It's not what we are. So we got to stay on that message.
Yeah.
That's wrong. White supremacy is wrong.
Right.
It's wrong. It's not going to get us anywhere. It's going to hurt us, not help us.
Hello, it's okay. Right.
Okay.
Thank you. That was great. I'm going to take your mic.
It's absolutely horrible. I have never seen anything like this in my life, where we have some form of authoritative agency that wears masks, has no identification,
right,
and seems to have no accountability whatsoever. And this appears to me and a lot of people that they're given free rein from the federal government to do whatever the hell they please.
People are disappearing.
We were sold a can of goods from the government when this all started, saying they're there to remove rapists, terrorists, murderers, lawbreakers, all this stuff, you know, these bad people. It's quite obvious. I see what I see. You see what you see. This is not the case. They're terrorizing people.
Yeah.
They're going into neighborhoods. They're creating chaos and terror. That's what they're doing. They're not doing what they said they were going to do, which was to get rid of all the bad criminals. They're bringing terror into our neighborhoods.
What did you see on the video?
I saw a woman killed in cold blood, and the guy looked like, to me, he enjoyed what he was doing. That's what I saw. And I also heard him say, "Fuck you, bitch," when he was done doing what he did.
Right.
So
what does that tell? What does that tell
tells
you?
me that ICE is made up of nothing but a bunch of paid mercenaries who have no accountability whatsoever.
So what do we do about that?
We do what we're doing now. We have our rights to stand and protest and voice our opinion. They can't stop me from doing this. I am peacefully protesting and letting everyone know what I think of what's going on in this world. It disgusts me. And
I'm with Carolyn. Carolyn, your sign says democracy needs courage. No kings, no fascists, no Trump. Why do you say that it needs courage?
I think because we're all so comfortable day to day, and we need to all be stepping up and making our voices heard. Our country is about using your voice, and it's about speaking your mind, and we have those rights no matter what your background is. I made it red and blue because all of us need to come together as a country. Our rights are so important. Our Constitution is important, and this is our time to speak up and not just sit back and wait. So that takes courage. It's easier to sit home and just hope everything works out, but we need to step up and come together. We all have that right. Like to say that we shouldn't be out here means that no matter what the issue is, we should just comply. And I have 2 daughters at home. I have family and friends that I love so much, and I feel like sitting home is not an option. Like I have to get out there and make my voice heard and come to, we're strength when we're together. So the more people out, my family comes with me. My parents are in their 70s and they come out and they know it's important. My daughters at home need to see this as an example because it's our civic duty to come out here and make sure that our communities are safe. When the woman in Minnesota was killed, that could be any one of us. Parking your car in the middle of the road, even if it was for civil disobedience, is not against the law.
Right.
It's not a murderable offense.
Right.
And we all need to come out and be like, hey, enough is enough.
I know that, as a journalist, it's something that I've thought about. What would I do if a thug with a mask from ICE comes in trying to with a gun?
Right.
I really don't know what I would do in that situation.
Yes,
I don't think any of us do, especially now that we know that the government agents will shoot people in cold blood,
right? Without hesitation.
Just not complying fast enough.
Yeah, it's scary.
What do you think you'll do in that situation? Because I don't know what I would do.
I know. I said to my husband, I would volunteer to do that, to go out and block traffic in a safe way, because that's civil disobedience to me. And it's scary to think that and a big part of the population will say, you should have just complied.
Right,
it's your fault. That terrifies me for my children, for my family and my friends. We have rights for a reason.
Right. Where are all the people with the "don't tread on me" flags?
Exactly.
It's they're dead silent now.
Yeah. I mean, when you think of January 6th, people coming out as peaceful protesters.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Why were they protected? And this woman was not.
Just meet to your mom?
Yeah, this is my mom, Deb.
Hi.
She lives in Ilion, New York.
Why are you out here?
It's very important for my daughters, for my granddaughters, for my grandsons, that we speak up.
How did you raise your daughter and your children in terms of what it takes to be an American and to be a good person?
Well, I don't know. I think we just always were honest about things. We were aware, we were informed, and then they just kind of took it on their own and went out and, they lived in different places. They saw different people, different communities, and actually they've surpassed us, my daughters. Yeah.
Well, that's really good to hear, and I hope your granddaughters as well.
I always say it's amazing. My parents grew up in the Mohawk Valley. They did not attend college. They haven't lived in a million different places, but we always learned from them that everyone was important. We grew up, especially with LGBTQ populations. We knew, everyone should be respected and loved and appreciated. They didn't have to go to college or move to
know that.
to California to learn that. They live in Ilion, and
You could be a good person right here in the
Yes, you
Valley.
can.
Right.
And it goes back to my parents. They grew up in rural upstate New York, farmers. Again, neither one of them went to college.
What do you think gave them the
I don't
strength
know.
of character to be open-minded?
Yeah.
And instead of like choosing ignorance and fear, to like choose to get to know other people.
It's hard. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but they were
What
always
gives you
open.
that courage?
Well, just knowing it's the right thing to do. Yeah, that
I'm
I
so
care
proud.
about.
I'm so proud of my family.
Yeah, I care about other people. I mean, I'm white. I'm 70. I'm safe. But I care about other people.
I'm with Olivia, and Olivia's sign says "Justice for Renee Nicole Good." I think it's great that you're speaking the name of the woman who was murdered this week. Why is that important now to like remember her and to? Well, actually, why did you put her name on your sign?
I put her name on my sign because I'm just angry at the lack of accountability for a woman who was murdered for just trying to stick up for immigrant rights and trying to exercise her right to observe ICE activity. I'm just angry at the people who are justifying it and the complete lack of accountability from the Department of Homeland Security. I think it's just absolutely fucked up. And she was a mother. She was a devoted.
wife?
What? Sorry.
A wife.
A wife. A devoted mother. She was just trying to stick up for people, and it's absolutely fucked up that she was just murdered. She was trying to get away, and they're trying to point her as some sort of domestic terrorist. I think it's absolutely fucked up. Makes me so angry. That's why I'm here with have her name on my sign today.
You're out here without gloves and a hat, and it's a really cold day.
It is.
Why are you out here doing this? Like, why is it so important that you be out here to like say this? Why is it so important that Americans, that us, be out here?
Yeah, I think we have a duty to be out here today. Yeah, it's cold outside. I'd rather be at home. I wish we didn't have to do this, but we've come to the point where it's just complete government overreach, and we cannot stand for this anymore. And we have to be doing things like this. We have to be doing what we can.
Your sign says resist, and it also represents really the diversity of America. I'm going to describe it for my radio audience. It says resist. It has 5 hands. One hand holds different shades of brown. One hand is for transgendered. One hand is for gay, lesbian. One hand is for peace, and one hand just has a heart for the American flag. That heart in the middle, that American flag heart, was supposed to really represent all the hands, but it doesn't seem to right now. What do you make of that?
It doesn't, and honestly, with the division in our country right now and what is happening every day is just, it's not who we are. And it's not okay in our country for this to happen. The young woman who was killed the other day, when they clearly have her on tape saying, "I'm not mad at you, dude."
Right,
And
they
then
murdered her.
shot in the face 3 times.
Right.
And how do we explain this? Nothing about this makes sense. And I'm
Right.
just fearful this is only going to continue and get worse. And people who are different than a white American are going to be targets.
Or a straight American.
Or a straight American
Yeah,
as well.
it's really scary to be a minority right now. And I think it's scary to be anybody right now who's on the side of inclusiveness and justice and stuff. Do you ever feel any apprehension or anxiety because of what's happening that, like, for you personally?
Well, I know people who will not come and rally because they fear for their safety.
Yeah.
And I have to, this is what I believe, and I will stand here every week. We've been here, this is our 25th week. We're not going away. We are very active, and we are really, literally fighting to take our country back. I mean, Donald Trump has not demonstrated doing anything for the American people. Yesterday he met with oil executives. How is that benefiting, And I think he honestly, if he believes, if he says it or thinks it, it's going to happen. And that's not how our country works. That's not how a democracy works. So, and we need to get back to where we were before he descended the escalator 10 years ago.
So you guys are out here every week. a few weeks ago, about a few months ago, I was interviewing. So I interviewed somebody
Yeah.
who was threatening to blow people's head off for being brown skinned or for coming into the United States.
Yeah.
That was right here in Rome. So I mean, in ICE, there's been problems with ICE right here in the Mohawk Valley. I interviewed a family in Herkimer where the parents were abducted by ICE and disappeared. And so I wonder, do you feel that maybe this is a turning point? The fear and I think the use of fear to control people by the Trump administration and by MAGA. Do you think that maybe they've gone too far where this will be a turning point with this murder?
I would hope so, because now they're talking about ICE knocking on people's doors.
Right.
And finding out, and anyone who knows history knows what that is about.
How does it make you feel? When I read stuff like that, and when I see what's happening in the country, and because of some of the experiences that I personally had, I wonder, how long is it till someone knocks on my door, some thug wearing an ICE shirt, and shoots me? And if that person is actually an ICE thug, a government agent, will they get away with murdering me in cold blood?
Well, I think it's going to be very important to see what happens as a result in Minnesota. I don't think people are, as was with George Floyd, I don't think people are going to let this go away. And I refuse to live in fear.
Right.
Some of my values are non-negotiable, and that's kindness.
Mine too, yeah.
And caring. And when people go by and flip me off and, say hateful things, I tell them to have a good day.
Right.
Because I'm not. Those values of mine are not negotiable, Ron.
Honestly, a lot of what people did to vote this guy in are because they think it's okay to be racist, and a lot of them are just looking for white supremacy to come back to this country.
So what do we do about that?
We voice our opinion.
Yeah.
We gotta spread the word. We gotta help people open their eyes to what's going on. This is a country of immigrants. Okay, diversity is our power. We've done so well in this country because of our rich diversity of people from all over the world. That's America.
Yeah.
We've got to break this mindset that America can only be successful with whites in power.
Right.
That's not who we are. It's not what we are. So we got to stay on that message.
Yeah.
That's wrong. White supremacy is wrong.
Right.
It's wrong.
There's a protest here at Fort Sandwich every Saturday at noon. In Rome, I'm Ron Klopfanstein for 95.5 FM, The Heat. This is Ron Klopfanstein. Meet me in the hot seat every Monday at 5 p.m. for Hot Seat Media Mondays on 95.5 FM, The Heat.